I'll ask Lewis a question, if that's okay. Response to becoming club captain. Lewis, he's been here a long time and taking over from Tom Abel at Factor Fulham.
Yeah, it's obviously a huge honour to captain this club. Obviously, like I said, I've been here a while, played under a numerous amount of captains, and Abe's obviously been in post for quite a long time. He's done a tremendous job at the club and taken us forward over a number of years to where we are today. And yeah, like I say, it's going to be a huge task, but yeah, one I'm excited for.
You've obviously learned from the ones you've played under. I mean, is there anything that you think hasn't been tried before that you can bring to the job?
I don't think we're going to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. I think we've got some seriously talented cricketers in our squad, and it's trying to get them in a place where you see the best of them, give them the freedom to express themselves and play a brand of cricket that they want to play, and fingers crossed that we'll get 5, 6, 7 guys that will have an outstanding year and guys that are chipping around them, and we'll be in a good place come September.
Yeah, I imagine, knowing that Tom wanted to give up the job, Lewis was a fairly straightforward choice. I don't suppose you had to think too hard, given his experience and time at the club.
No, not too hard. Obviously, myself and Jason spoke at great length around making sure we made the right appointment for the club and the team's needs right now. And I think it's fair to say that on the evidence of T20 over the last couple of seasons, we've seen the followership that Lewis has generated with the squad. And we have such high ambitions here. You know, it's really important that we were identifying someone as a leader that can not only perform out on the pitch and set examples, but also someone who can really galvanise a team and get that followership to all work towards one common goal. That's it.
Thank you.
Sarge, Richard Walsh speaking. What makes you think that this is going to be a better year than last year? Not that last year was a bad year, but every year obviously we aspire to be better. So what have we done to help us achieve that going forward?
If you look out there, you'll see that there's no puddles. So that's a very positive first start.
1 or 2.
So on a serious note, I generally believe that there's another year's experience. I mean, every year we take a lot of learning from that previous year, but also historical years before that. And there's that maturity within the group. And there's a huge sense of belief. You know, the T20 success last year really galvanised the group. And there's this real hunger and desire to keep pushing on across other formats of the game as well and be really, really successful. I love the environment in the fact that, you know, generally it's a real learning environment where people are really ambitious to be the best they possibly can be, and players have been pushing each other on throughout the year and throughout the winter. You know, what's been facilitated across both here at the Cooper Associates County Ground, in Sri Lanka and then in Abu Dhabi by the coaches, has really stretched players. And so we're really excited about the growth that players have made, and some of the evidence we saw out in Abu Dhabi around that growth being demonstrated in competitive situations is really exciting for us. Healthy competition for places is really important for us. You know, we've got a lot of players that have come through the system that are really hungry to debut and play for the first 11. And that actually means that the players that do get the opportunity to start each format are under pressure to sustain that position, because that's that real healthy competition. And I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to that, James?
Well, I think you summed that up beautifully, Andrew.
Are there any thoughts to sign another replacement fast bowler, overseas fast bowler? Or are you happy with what we've got here?
It's a great question, isn't it, Walsh? We were really excited about the opportunity for Will Sutherland to come across. We saw obviously this winter, you know, the impact he's made in Australia, both domestically and then making his international debut. And we recognised at that time when we were looking to recruit someone to add value to the squad, then that important role. And it's important for us to have real depth, because history tells us 14 championship games, 14 T20 games, other competitions that are going on throughout the summer. We need depth, because we need to be in a position where we can rotate and keep people really, really fresh. So we are almost finalised the second overseas recruitment. There's a couple of things just to finalise on that, so hopefully in the next few days we'll have an announcement to make regarding that.
Thank you.
Now, that's Jason. What's Jake Paul going to bring to the bowling attack, and how fit is he maybe over to?
Well, Jake's got a wealth of experience. It was only a few years ago that he represented his country, and I've experienced, he's had a little bit of a dip, he's had a couple of injuries, but I was fortunate to spend a little bit of time with him. He brings pace, height, bounce, and more importantly, he's got a hunger. I think he's at a point of a career now where he's got an opportunity to get back to almost to his best. He's been brilliant in training through the winter, fitted into the environment brilliantly, and will give us a little bit of penetration either with a new ball or will complement the attack.
Craig?
Craig's doing brilliantly. He had back surgery last year, probably I think it was around late October. So he's still working his way back, but the back end of Abu Dhabi he was getting there. Hopefully we get some cricket at the weekend, so he's not far away.
Jess, just looking at the weather, it's so wet lately.
No.
Normally we play Glamorgan and Gloucestershire pre-season games. We've done Sri Lanka and the Abu Dhabi Cup this year, which sounded like it went really well. Are you slightly worried if Sunday, Monday, Tuesday there's no action if it is rained off? It was going to be at Vale, now it's here. Or might it go back to Vale, or is there anything potential to get ready for next Thursday?
Certainly not going back to the Vale. We're hopeful. The forecast's good for next week, but no, I'm not worried at all. I'd rather us be slightly undercooked than overcooked, definitely. And we were incredibly fortunate to spend time in Sri Lanka and Abu Dhabi, so we've had time on feet, and it'd be great to get some overs obviously next week. And a little bit of time in the middle. If we don't get that, it reminds me, I think 2018 it was when we had the marquee. I think there were about 30 overs going into the first game. So, the guys will find their feet very quickly. I've got no doubts about that. And what I've noticed over the last few years, preparation is never perfect. So, as I said, we're incredibly fortunate to have the amount of time we did in Abu Dhabi.
Any other questions?
Realistically, what are your chances, what are our chances of winning or at least doing very well in the county championship?
Look, they're great. We've got an unbelievable squad, and as Sarge alluded to, they've got another year's experience, and you can't underestimate how powerful it is to win a trophy. I spoke to the group in Abu Dhabi. We won obviously 2019. And COVID hit, and we didn't get an opportunity to build on that particularly because obviously what everybody experienced at that time. And so to use the Blast as a platform from last year, the confidence that's in the group, the ability and talent that's there, and one thing that isn't tangible is the connectivity that's within the group, the way they've trained, the cohesive unit that they've been in the winter. They're as together as a group that I've ever seen. And it's for them to go out and enjoy themselves, and Lewis and I are really strong on it. It's important we concentrate on the process. There'll be a lot of talk about winning championships, etc, etc. We want to enjoy ourselves, we want to get back to playing a brand of cricket that you guys enjoy watching, and if we do that we'll get the right results. But certainly the squad that we have, they're incredibly capable, they can achieve anything, and we'll encourage them to do that.
One more, Jason, but the One Day Cup we've seen over the last couple of years, there's some very interesting young players coming through, bowlers in particular, Offie Ogbo and Sonny Baker. They're now 2 or 3 years, 2 years down the line. Do you count them now as very much competing for first team places in the other competition?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen again in pre-season, Alfie Ogbo and Ned Leonard. These guys were, you can see the development that they've made. So they were both, incredibly exciting out in Abu Dhabi. Similarly, Alfie and Ned were out in Sri Lanka, and you can see their skills and confidence growing, and that's the same. I think it's a brilliant platform. It's a consequence of decisions that have been made, and obviously not everyone's happy with it, but you get opportunities for young players to play in front of a brilliant crowd here, to feel what it's like to represent the first team, and to probably get that experience a little bit earlier than anticipated. But for the longevity of the club and for us to continue to produce players, I think it's a brilliant platform for that, and we'll reap the rewards in years to come.
One more from me. What would it mean to the club to have Jamie Cox back here? Some of them, you at the top table, have played with Jamie, under Jamie. I mean, what does it bring to the club to have him involved back here?
It's a great question. I think, look, I think the reality is it was a long time ago that Jamie was here as a player, and they're incredibly fond memories. He's been on a journey himself from then, and so I think time will tell. His cricket knowledge is phenomenal. He's got a huge affiliation to the club. He understands the club, there's no doubt about that. So we're all excited to have him on board, and then I'll answer that question in September.
Sarge, you had quite a lot to do with Jamie when he was here before.
I did. I think everyone's really. I'm not going to use it. You're too close. I think everyone's really excited about Jamie returning. As Jason alluded to, he understands the DNA of the club. You know, he understands the membership. You know, he understands the challenges that cricket faces. You know, he's been hugely connected within the game in Australia. He's got some diverse experiences out in Australia regarding Aussie rules football, and he's obviously now been working with the MCC. So he's going to bring in lots of diverse knowledge and insight into our environment as well. So we're really looking forward to the opportunity of working alongside him again. Had a number of opportunities to catch up with him face to face, but on the phone as well. Started to involve him in how cricket is shaping up and looking into this year. So we're really looking forward to the support he can give us, as well as in enhancing the club moving forward.
Thanks, Sarge.